Hey guys, happy fabulous Friday. Thank you for tuning in. I am very grateful for any of you guys who tune in and watch. I have my card here and I am looking for it and I can't see it. Hold on, where is it? I just had it. I had it with the basket. Where did I put the basket? Okay, it's not there. Okay, where are my eyes? There we go. I was gonna see it's. I know it's right here. I just put it behind my laptop. Good times. Okay, so we're getting a Toy Story card today. I hope you guys. Okay, good. Pardon my reach of my big arm across, but I appreciate you guys. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay. Oh no! Stop. Okay. There. All right. Done. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm live. All right. Okay. So the card I have today is so stinking cute. So I'm going to a class tomorrow that's actually pretty cool with my leader. So my leader is like, I don't know, the 30th in the company. Like she's way up there as far as her what's the word? Her level in the company is like way up there. Well, she asked for us to be able to get a training from the corporate office, and they asked us to do swaps, which means that, you know, like you bring all these, you make a card, a bunch of cards of the same type, and then you swap them with other people so that you can have like different designs, different creative things. So anyway, so I decided I'm on a tight budget. So I'm like, I did not have a ton of money. So I'm like, what can I do that is the stuff that I already have? The only thing I bought from the new catalog is the little monkey stamp set and the punch, which is super cute. I love monkeys and I call my nieces monkeys. So that's why I knew this was I had to get this set because I'm going to use it a bunch because they're my monkeys. So obviously it's perfect for me. So I decided to do a monkey card and I wanted to showcase something new because that's what they really wanted for these cards. Well, like I said, I only have the stamp set. So I went ahead and decided to grab the Blueberry Bushel and the Lemon Lime Twist. Now these stamp pads I've had for years. Blueberry Bushel retired, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, and Lemon Lime Twist retired, I think, 4 years ago or 5 years ago. It is still fresh. I didn't even have to re-ink it. This one also, it's several years old, didn't have to re-ink it. So even though the card might be deceptively plain, it is so stinking cute. Like, to me, it's not jazzy enough, but I don't know. You guys can comment and let me know. So check it out. How cute is that? Look at, they hang like a barrel of monkeys. It made me think, I was immediately thinking of doing like a barrel of monkeys type card. And so too bad I can't like show you, but you can see how he dangles like down. So yeah, so it's a barrel of monkeys card. And so I just thought that was so cute and reminded me of that. And he's just hanging there. I didn't put any glue on him. I put glue on these ones, obviously, but not on this one, because I just really wanted him to dangle like a real monkey. And it looks really cute when it's dangling like that. You can see how much it dangles. It's pretty cool. I thought it was a pretty cool card. I don't know if I'll win the contest, but I thought they were pretty cool. So we're gonna go ahead and do that with a monkey card. So let me go ahead and grab our stamps. I've stamped a ton of cards, 24. I only have 24 to trade with people, but that's okay. That's plenty. And I just, like I said, I try to keep it as simple as I could, but with all current stuff, but yet not necessarily wasting, you know, stuff either. So, all right. So the first thing I did was I stamped a ton of these. So to stamp this, my own DSP was a little tricky. This piece of paper, where's my ruler? Oh, there it is. Okay. You know me, I love my little traditional school ruler. I know that there's usually rulers here, but it's 3.5 by 4 3/4. So that's how big it is. And so to get this design, I had to play with it a couple times. So I change it up, but this was the best way I got them to fit. I had to try a few pieces of paper. So I'm going to show you how to get them to where, one, they don't have to be totally straight, and two, you can make sure that you get what you need without it being too complicated. Oh, I'm going to need a couple. I think I have, yeah, I guess I just need I think those are extra. I think I just need one more red monkey. So those are extra, and I can punch some more in a minute. Let me grab the black ink before we get started. That way it's handy. Okay. All right. So let me, so I can clean it off and don't forget. So we needed, oh, no, this is a set. So basically, in order to stamp, I'm going to stamp one for you just so you see. Oh, these are extras. These ones are all extras. It was just the faces. I have to stamp an extra face. Yeah. So I still need my black. So, and yeah. Okay. So in order to get your monkey, you stamp like normal, obviously. Oops, I opened the red, not the black, duh. That's the sweet sorbet. So I just wanted to use some primary colors, but I needed to use new colors. You know, like that's what they really wanted, was us to showcase new things. So that's how I wound up with this. So let me go ahead and stamp my little monkey. And I'm going to stamp just the face. I think I have an extra face here. I stamped a whole bunch. Look, here's my pile, and because I'm making 24 cards, but here's my pile. I didn't want to use one of those. I might. No, here we go. I've got one here. Good, I can stamp a face on that real quick. So I need a red face, because the red face is going to go on this monkey, and I need another green one to go on the other monkey. I think these are extras. They are, because and so I'm just stamping, I don't need the whole monkey, just the face. And same with here. Oh, and see, this one's kind of torn. That's probably why I had it to the side. I don't like that one's torn. So we'll punch that one. Okay. And then you're just going to stamp just the face, the green face. And that's it. And then we'll take our punch, and we're going to punch out our monkey. Good. And then we'll punch out the face, just the face. I'm going to have to trim a little off the bottom here. It wouldn't reach to the bottom of the punch. Okay. So I'm going to need an extra sticky or something. There we go. It's a little too short. So if your piece of cardstock won't fit, just add a little piece of sticky note at the end, and you'll be able to slide your cardstock down. So this is like my handle. And see, by doing it on the little strips here, like this, you have a lot less things popping up on the edge and waste of cardstock. So you see, I can just pop him right out, and I'll waste a little bit, but not a ton of cardstock. So that's just a little. So I got my little faces, and I dump off the others. And I could add the little ears, because technically these little pieces here are the ears, but I didn't really want to get too busy with all of that, because I had to stamp a bunch of them. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to get too stuck in the weeds, so to speak. So we'll go ahead and we'll put just a tiny bit of glue. I want to put, this is a new glue. I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on the face. I just felt like it added something to make sure that these monkeys had faces. But it is cute when you can add the ears too. I just didn't want to add extra work, you know, because I had to do 24. So I also had to keep it limited. If I had to add also those little ears, oh, I would have hated it. I felt like the face was enough. Oops. This is why I was adding it now, so I could get that glue. I put too much glue on there. Let me get it off. Oops. Come on. All right. I'm gonna have to clean it off here in a second with the glue eraser, but we'll let that dry for a sec. And spread it out. There we go. And so I want these to dry. That's why I did these first. I want that glue to dry. Just because they're going to be hanging, you want to make sure any stickiness is not on the edge. Like this one I did the other day, but I'm checking it to make sure there's no stickiness because it's a pop-up card. You know, you don't want to have anything that's going to stick out. Like this blue one's going to have some stickiness, extra stickiness. So we'll want to make sure that that's all cleaned up. So let me put this aside. I was surprised at how fresh my, oh, there's the extra face I was looking for. I was right there. I was surprised at how fresh all my ink was, even though I had not used Blueberry Bushel in so long. I was kind of surprised it was still fresh. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but I've had some of these stamp pads for quite a while too when I think about it. So at least 3 years or more, but I don't know. I just thought that was kind of cool. So, all right. So cleaned off the black. We'll let that dry. I want to get this ink off before I forget. There we go. It's a glue eraser. You can get them on Amazon. We used to sell them from Stampin' Up. The one that I had from Stampin' Up, I told you, I've had it for at least 15 years or more. And I cannot find it. It came off of the desk. I think the cats possibly picked it up and it's on the floor somewhere and I just haven't found it yet. It's like under this desk. I have this desk is like a mahogany desk. So the chances of me getting it from some little corner, it's not going to happen more than likely. So, okay, so we've got our little monkeys to the side. Now we're going to go ahead and take our inside of our card. This is, it is 8 inches. I actually only wanted it to be 8 1/4, so it's a little smaller than I wanted it to be. I don't know how I managed to cut off so much, but I think just in the rush of cutting so many, I don't know, somehow I messed it up. I don't know how I did, but I did. I think what happened is I trimmed them this way one day, and I think I probably thought I had trimmed them, but I didn't. And anyway, I think I thought I hadn't trimmed them anyway, so I trimmed them extra by mistake. I wanted them a little bit bigger, and you'll see why in a minute. So in order to get the right height, what I did was I made up, this was a template one, and the card that I made, I cut out this big chunk, but I don't need it to be that big. I only need it to be like 3/4 that width. So all I did was I literally freehanded it, because to try and do it, now I'm using, these scissors are from Tim Holtz. So they're not from Stampin' Up, but I am going to tell you where I got them because of the fact that they cut through cardboard and like, see how it's a double layer. So you want to make sure you get a good, like, you want to make sure your scissors can cut well and cut to a point. And so that's how I got my pop-up part. That's all it is. You're not doing anything fancy. So this was just my original template. And I think this one is, oh, this one's even smaller. This one's like, interesting. So, okay, so we've got our layer, and I'm going to stamp my phrase right here with Blueberry Bushel, and then we'll get to our monkey stamping. That's the messiest part, so I think that's why I'm just waiting till the end to do that one. And I decided to stamp Swinging just swinging by to say hi in the corner because I thought that was the most appropriate for the swinging little monkeys. There we go. All right, let's set that aside. Okay, and so then to make the pop-up, all you do is you push in. So I have the other part folded, so all I do is I push in the parts that I haven't, it's already been scored to a point here. And I just gently press, and then I keep pressing to make sure it's nice and firm. And there's my pop-up. That's it. That's all it is. Just that little pop-up. That's it. Nothing too fancy. It's a pretty simple sign, and I'll glue it in a minute. Okay, so then we've got our basic card bases. We'll get all that glued while I have a clean surface. So this is I normally don't like doing book folds, but it's perfect for this card. So we've got 4 1/4 by, it's 8 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. And somehow when I did this white piece, I cut it a little too short, but it's fine. No one I think is really going to notice that it's quite a bit smaller than it should be. It should only be 1/4 inch on, but anyway, it is what it is. It's fine. So let me go put the glue. And so let me get my scoring tool, my bone folder. I just want to make sure that this is nice and firmly scored, and even just a little extra press there to make sure it stays. And this little spot here is going to be hidden. So, you know what I mean? You don't have to worry too much about the pop-up being perfectly straight. If you want to try and cut it with your trimmer, go for it. I'm just telling you how I did it because I had to just do the best I could with, what I had. And the Tim Holtz scissors are really strong. There's the big set. The reason why, let me get to telling you, I don't make any money from Tim Holtz, but the Tim Holtz scissors have a serrated edge. And on Amazon, they had a set where it's like a baby pair and a large pair of scissors, but it has a serrated edge. It's really cool. And so I'll show you. And it's got the cover, but the edges, I guess you can't really see it. This is all, it's serrated, but a very small serrated edge. And so I thought you could see it, but you can't. You can only really see it when it's like up close to the paper. So that is glued down. So notice how I put glue on one side. Then I butted the center, the scored edge, right up to the edge. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on this side. Okay. And I'm literally just going to close my book. That was the best way and easiest way to get it folded in there nice and smoothly. And see, look, it's even. It's even on both sides. It's a little bigger than I wanted, but it's even on both sides. Done. Okay, so then we're going to get our other layers. So this layer here is 3 3/4. Yeah. So this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And this one here, the blueberry, this is Lemon Lime Twist, which is my all-time favorite color. I love this color. I'm so excited that it's permanent in our collection for now. It is such a good color. And this is Blueberry Bushel, and it is a returning color. Both of these are returning colors. And they retired Pacific Point, but see, now we have this one. Pacific Point was a brighter than this, but I don't know, I like this too. It's almost navy, but it's not navy, And this is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So you got quite a few layers on the top of this card here. And then we're going to go ahead and make our little monkey layer. And let me show you how I do that. And so now that I have this nice clean surface, everything's glued together, let's go ahead and get everything else going. So here's the key. You can open your blue one, and I want my blue monkey to be this one, okay? And I'm setting it on the stamp pad intentionally. Then I'm opening my green one in the middle, because the green I can tell is green. Sometimes I can't see the difference between the red and the blue, not because they're, I don't know, sometimes I just don't see it. I'm just rushing. And so I put the red one on the outside, the blue one on the other. Anyway, there was an intention behind it. But I'm keeping the monkey stamps on them so I know which one goes with which. Okay, and especially when you're doing a whole bunch of these, you'll want to have a system so you don't mix up your ink pads, because I accidentally put the red one onto this green ink pad. Thankfully, I was able to get all of the ink off before it mixed and stained my ink pad. So, all right, so I've got my lemon lime monkey and I'm putting her in the corner. You turn your paper sideways, because when you stamp a design in a sideways manner, when you turn it right side up, you can't tell whether there were mistakes or not. If I were to do it straight, you see, if this were a large square, you would see that this one's off and this one's on. You know what I mean? You can tell that they're not straight. But when they're crooked and it's a sideways angle, you can't tell if you made any mistakes, because people's eyes are still going this way and not this way. Okay, so it's just a trick when you're designing a card. So I wanted the green monkey in the corner. Then I put this monkey right underneath her. And I know it's almost touching, but it's okay, don't worry. You're not gonna see it once we get going with the others. This happened a few times where sometimes they were almost touching, sometimes not. So then I put a red one on the sweet sorbet on that side. Then I put a sweet sorbet one on that side. Then I wanted another green one. Oh, the maintenance guy is going to come to my apartment. I guarantee. Watch. Right as I'm doing my video. Hold on. Okay. I just saw him walk past my door. I mean, my window. That's what I'm wondering. Okay. So then I put my green one there. And then I wanted a red one. Because you don't want to have any of the colors like right next to each other. You know, you want to try and change it to where it's not. And it's a little tricky because all of the monkeys have a different shape. So it was a little hard for me to make them, you know. But I wanted each design. I wanted each monkey design. I didn't want to trade in a design. Okay. And so you see it's going to make a little mess because you've got your extra, that's why you have your extra scrap paper around it. Then I put the blue one in the corner. And there's still this little spot here, so I'm going to put another blue one down there. But none of the same color monkey are touching or close to each other, you see? And so it's easy to see that they're not, you know, like, it's not a mistake, you know, like you can, it's not easy to see if there's any mistakes, okay? Let me go ahead and hold on a second. This is I had to get rid of my Stampin' Scrub. It got like, the cat's got a hold of it, so I'm using my chamois, so I'm using my Stampin' Scrub. Stampin' Scrub is another type of cleaner, and it's especially good for when you have rubber stamps because it gets all up in the crannies because it's a brush, you know, it's essentially like a little brush. There's a wet side and a dry side, and you put this little cleaner on it, and just nicely cleans everything off. I just want to be able to close my stamp heads. And so there we go. And so I love my Stampin' Scrub. I've had that one a long time. There's a new one that they make. It's a gray container. The new one is gray, but it's the same concept. Okay, so we've got all our pieces all cleaned up and closed. Oops, look at all the ink I got on the side there. I'll have to clean that up. So now I put it on my finger. I wasn't really thinking there for a minute. And so easy peasy card. What? Okay, it's $4.29. Oh, thanks, Sylvia. You're so sweet. I'm just, you know, I'm just a simple stamper, ladies. We'll see if I win the contest tomorrow. The contest is that the corporate, Shannon West, she's one of the corporate leaders, And this is an alcohol wipe, and alcohol wipes are really good for drying the ink. I'm just cleaning it off a little because I had some on my fingers and I don't want to get it on my nice, cute new, I just stamped that, so I don't want to mess it up. Okay. And so it dries off the paper really well, but sometimes on your fingers it'll stay wet for a while. So alcohol wipe or even hand sanitizer will dry the ink enough to where it won't make a mess. So Shannon West is coming, and she's going to train us, give us a little training, so that's cool. And they're having a contest where the swaps that we bring, one of them will be selected, we'll vote for whichever one we think is the best one, and she will take it back to the home office and share it with everyone in her home office. She probably gets like hundreds and hundreds of swaps, you know, when she goes to these. And there were only 35 places she got to go that they sent Stampin' Up! Corporate people to. So it's pretty cool that she was chosen to come to ours. Oh, I do need, oh, there we go. I have a blue circle. That's the 2-inch. I guess I need a little piece of green for my green circle. Let's see, I need a 2 3/4. Let's see if I can, or 1 3/4. Let me see if I can punch. Yeah, okay. I needed a, oh, well, the back is a monkey. But this is a 2-inch circle, and the green circle is a 1 3/4. I'm so glad we have our punches back because I love punches way more than I love the die thing, you know, because to me it's so easy to punch a little circle. If I had to do the dies, I'd have to get the machine out. I'd have to, you know what I mean? Like, it's just extra. And so I just thought that was cute. And I don't know if you remember in Toy Story when they use the monkeys out the window to like try and get out of the yard, out of what's his name's yard. They have to get him out of what's his they had to get Buzz out of what's his name yard. And so they, okay. And I want it just in the corner. So it's covering up that red one. Oops. Oh, that's glue on my finger. And so it's covering up that red one in the green, but still you see plenty of the monkeys here. I thought about putting them here, but I just really wanted to see all the monkey designs, and I just kind of liked how it looked when it was that way. So one red monkey is going to go on the front. I think I want this one. And then we're going to have the other ones hanging on the inside. Oh, and I also put like cute little twine, a little cute piece of twine on the monkey. Oops, I think I put the wrong, oh well, okay. I don't know why I wanted that one instead. Okay, so there we go. So we put our monkey in the center, but he needed like a little something. So I decided to just grab, I made a little bow with the twine from the In Color twine, which carried over. I'm so happy this In Color twine carried over. This is the Starry Night twine, and it's not the same color as Blueberry Bushel, but it's very close, especially in the twine. You know, because sometimes the color will be too different. Like this is Sweet Sorbet, so technically I could have done the red. I thought about doing a little red, you know, bow on the blue, but I don't know, the blue monkey's so dark, you know what I mean? I really kind of wanted this monkey to pop. So I went ahead and made a tiny bow. I made 24 of them. Check it out. Look at all my 24 bows and all my monkeys. So I'm going to finish making all my cards. All of my cards are made. I just have to attach the monkeys now. It's time for the monkeys. Send in the monkeys. So we're going to add a little glue dot. And we're just going to put this little bow right there. Let me get my scissors to trim it before I attach it. Maybe we'll put, yeah, I think that's better. Okay. Trim the edges. It was a little bit big when I tied it. I knew that, but that's okay because I wanted I figured I'd adjust it once I got it on the monkey. Yeah, see, I want it a little smaller even, just a touch. It's a little tricky to get tiny bows, but if you don't like making bows, I recommend you do a knot. A knot looks also really, really cute on that away. A knot looks really cute on you know, instead of a bow, if you can't do a bow. And I'm just going to use one of these paper pumpkin glue dots because they're small already, and I can still, what you do is you fold your glue dot over into like a little taco or a little, just fold it like in half essentially, just enough to where the knot can cover it, because the full circle is almost a little too big. And especially with our large glue dots that we have in the packages here, these glue dots are quite large. So these ones are a little too big because they're just a little puffy. And I just wanted a little bow. I just thought he'd be cute with a little bow on him. And so there's our little bow. Then to add our, where is it? There it is. Oh, I had a bunch of green circles at the bottom of the basket here. Here I'm like going and wasting one of my monkeys. So this is the in color twine. It carried over, so I'm so glad I had it. Oh, and it's like 40 or 50 yards, this twine. You get, I think, 10 yards on each single spool. It's a ton. I've had it for a year. I haven't used it all. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so now for the inside, I wanted them hanging. So I wanted my one monkey here, and I want the red one dangling. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be the red one dangling. Maybe I should switch it up and put the red one here. No, I don't know. Let's see. I just know that I don't want the red and the blue. Yeah, see, it was the faces. That's what made me change it. I don't know. That's weird. Let's see if I do this one. It's the same. It's fine. All right, so I did the green one first. You can change it up. Let's see. Let me lay them next to each other, see how I like them. And here's my original, which I still have. I just felt like the blue one was so dark. I didn't really want it hanging because he was just so dark. I guess it doesn't really matter. It was just the way I did it. I think I'll switch it and keep the dark one in the center and the green one hanging on this one. Okay, so in order to put my monkey here, I went ahead and I added a little bit of tear and tape. So before I added my monkey to the tail, that was the other thing I had to make sure, is that I have to make sure that when I fold it, it's gonna stay under. So I added a tiny bit of twine to my, or not twine, tear and tape to just this ear, this part of the ear. And tear and tape's really strong, so that's why I chose tear and tape. And it's gonna be this ear here. And so I just wanted to make sure I had a strong adhesive on there. You could even use hot glue, except you have to be careful because hot glue can be a little bumpy and you still want your card to be flat. So I'm adding an extra piece right here. I just want to make sure it's really sticking to that one little flap that's inside. So we're gonna stick it right there. Yep, and all my glue is covered. Yep. See, I didn't stick it too far. And so then to get this monkey in the center, I have to make sure that he is angled enough. See, if I have him too far out, his ear is going to stick out. So I need him to be hanging a little ways down. Not too far down, not straight, but a little to the side. Okay, so that way the other one can dangle. I feel like this one's a little too, but he's pushed on there now. So Okay, so then we're gonna go ahead and put a tiny piece of, I wanna say I did a glue dot before. Let me do a tiny glue dot to check it. I just had to check it because you don't want it to be showing. That was the key. Yeah, see, now he's hidden. So I'm gonna, and that's a light glue dot, so I can easily just add a little tear and tape again, because with the pop-ups, I don't know, I just feel like if there's movement on your card, you just want to make sure you have plenty of adhesive. Oops, oh, that's a lot. That's maybe too much. You could put a glue dot on here too. This is not working. I'm gonna put a couple. Let me see. These are kind of big though. Let's see. I want a strong. Yeah. See, these are kind of large. I don't want it to be that big. You know. You see. Look how big they are. It's bigger than his hand. So I can fold it in half. I just want it to be nice and strong. Let's try it. Let's fold it in half. There we go. Fold it in half. Stick it to his hand, and then because you want it to really hold to that other one, you do not want it to come loose, because once someone has the card, there we go. Oops. Nope, it's on there nice and tight now, and I think all the glue is covered. Nope, some of the glue is showing. It's a little tricky. There we go. I pushed it under. Now it's hiding. Okay. Then all I did was I literally hooked the last monkey under on the tail of the third monkey. That's it. I just hook him on. There we go. He's just hooked on there. That's it. Because I felt like he needs to dangle. I couldn't make them all dangle, but I could make that one dangle. So there we go. That's it. That's our card. That's our entire card. So it wasn't that hard, actually. It's much easier. I think because I made 24, it felt like it was so much, but it's actually not that much. You could even use a couple of these little baby glue dots that are from the paper pumpkin kits instead of the large glue dot that I used. You could use a couple baby glue dots. But see, he hangs on there pretty well. I mean, he's not permanent. I pulled him out of an envelope once, and he popped off, but that's okay. You just pop them right back on. Easy. But closing, opening, just swinging by to say hi. And I love that when you hold, like set him up, they're dangling. He's dangling so well. And then I have these cute little barrel of monkeys. And I thought I would give one of these keychains I thought this would be a cute gift, actually, to give a keychain. And give a keychain and the card. And so how cute are these, right? And so cute little barrel of monkeys. They're just a little baby one, a baby barrel of monkeys. I thought that was a fun little added thing too. This one's called Monkeys in the Barrel, but we know that the official brand was Barrel of Monkeys, So there you go. So that's your card. That's it. But see how the design, you can't see that. I mean, other than the faded stamp, it's a little bit faded there. You really can't see whether this was a printed piece or you did it yourself. And that's what my goal was. Oh, and the reason why I chose a green face instead of a blue face is because I wanted the face to show up. Blueberry Bushel is not very dark, but as you can see, the monkey is kind of, it's the black is, you know what I mean? It's hard to see like exactly if, you can see it. It's just, I have a little light on my stamp station right here. So yeah. So now I'm going to finish making 24 of these cards. So wish me luck as I make another 24 or 23, I guess, so yeah. So I just have to add all the monkeys now, and that's it. But at least that's the only thing I have left to do. So I have this huge stack here. and everyone gets a card. Not everyone, but the people that are swapping. E.T., you're right. It does remind me of E.T., the shape of it. So yeah, look, I've got all these made. So I just add my monkeys and I'm good to go. So that shouldn't take too long. And then everyone, not everyone, but most people, anyone that swapped will get anyone that wants to swap with me will get a card. And I'll show you the swaps that I get next week. I'll show them to you so that you can see what I traded them for, you know. And that way you can also see some other new things that are in the catalog, you know, since this is the only new thing I bought. But a lot of the stuff that I have carried over, like the ship and the world map and several things that I already have carried over. So that's pretty cool. The ladybug is still, I think, available. So yeah, so there you go. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. And I hope you have a great day. And happy Fabulous Friday. All right, talk to you later. Bye.